This is a story of one of the most disturbing murder cases in the history of the Netherlands. Joost Vastenhouw was born in 1984. His biological mother is of Spanish descent. Joost's mother was on holiday in the Netherlands. When she came back to Spain, she found out that she was pregnant. The pregnancy was unwanted. In Spain, she tried to have an abortion, but that was no longer possible. She flew back to the Netherlands to try it there, but this was also no longer possible. She decides to give up her baby. Jan Vastenhouw and his wife Ans adopted Joost when he was 4 months old. Jan and Ans also had a foster daughter. Joost ended up in a warm family. Joost was described as a cheerful little man with a small heart, a full bunch of curls, and his thumb stuck in his mouth. But the Spanish temperament still flows through his blood. At school, Joost sometimes got into fights. Joost ends up in a somewhat more difficult adolescence. When Joost was 11 years old, his father found out that he was gay. His father and mother divorced because of this. 2 years after the divorce, his mother died of breast cancer. Joost started dressing dark. He started experimenting with drugs and booze. He got into debt. It all seemed to be going the wrong way. Joost listened to heavy metal, and after a while he joined a band called the Kalslagen. He was the guitarist. The band had extreme right-wing sympathies. They often performed at neo-Nazi festivals. His father Jan was looking for nothing behind this. Joost was allowed to do his own way. It seemed to be going in the right direction. He had got a permanent job with which he could pay off his debts with. In 2003, his father met a man of Chinese descent. Longlong Ji Longlong was born in 1976 in rural China. Longlong was a difficult adolescent. Quite early in his teens, he left for Beijing, the capital of China, to study drama there. He failed shortly afterward, and he started training as a masseur and ended up in prostitution at the age of 18. He was active in Beijing's nightlife, where he targeted Western tourists. Longlong believed in the Falun Gong religion, a Chinese religion whose leader claims he can levitate, walk through walls, talk to spirits and gods through meditation. In 1999, China banned this religion as it was considered a dangerous cult. Longlong had to leave China. He got to know a Dutchman through the nightlife, and he decided to move to the Netherlands and continue working in prostitution. In the year 2003, Jan and Longlong met in a bar and fell in love. Soon, Longlong was allowed to live together with Jan and his son Joost at the Magerhorst in Alphen aan den Rijn. The relationship between Jan and Longlong was short-lived. Longlong was allowed by Jan to continue to live with them because of his religion. He was no longer welcome in China. He got his own room. Longlong was only concerned with his religion. Sometimes he would do meditations for 6 hours. He often walked around the house, sometimes talking to himself or laughing out of the blue. Tuesday, October 3rd, 2006. Jan leaves for work. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. His son Joost waves him goodbye. At the time of departure, Jan does not yet know which horror will take place at home that day. Longlong has had voices in his head for 4 days that he must kill Joost and make him disappear. The voices in his head claim that his soul and Joost's soul have been fighting for 500 years, and now it must be settled. Longlong chased Jan to see if he had really gone to work. Jan was gone. Longlong slipped back into the house and grabbed an axe. Joost sat unsuspectingly behind his computer. Longlong sneaked up behind Joost and hit the axe 6 times against his head. Longlong dragged Joost's body to the bathroom and hit again. He left the body, changed clothes himself, picked up his bicycle, and went to the store. He fetched a kitchen grinder, black paint to paint the desk, 20 liters of sunflower oil, roll of heavy-duty garbage bags, 3 wok pans and a frying pan. He spends all day scrubbing the house before Jan comes home. In the afternoon, he starts chopping Joost into pieces. After chopping Joost into pieces, he starts frying Joost and throws his limbs into the wok. After everything is fried, he puts the leftovers in the garbage bags. Jan comes back from work late in the afternoon. Oddly enough, he doesn't notice anything. Only a few grease spots in the kitchen, but nothing else. Longlong, meanwhile, has thrown a number of garbage bags with the remains of Joost into an underground garbage can. He hasn't had enough time to throw everything away, so he puts the other bags in his own clothing closet. Jan notices that Joost is not there, only he does not find it suspicious. Joost is 22 after all and lives his own life. The next day Jan leaves for work as usual. Long panicked. He realized that everything in those garbage bags is recycled. He went back to the underground container as quickly as possible. He breaks it open, puts a staircase in it, and looks for the bags. The container had already been emptied. The bags were no longer in it. Long panicked because he still had to dump the other bags with the remains of Joost. He decided to put the bags on the back of his bike and dump the bags in nearby ditches. After a few days, Jan received a call from Joost's work. If Jan had any idea where Joost was, he hasn't shown up for work for several days. Jan panicked and immediately asked Long if he had any idea. Long shrugged nonchalantly. He had no idea. Jan went to the police and immediately indicated that he thought his ex-partner was suspicious because of the grease stains and the burn on his hand. Jan is being interrogated. It is said for almost 100 hours. He is even being tapped. But soon all traces lead to Long, and he is arrested. The police start investigating. They find Joost's blood on Long's clothes. But Long is silent. He doesn't say anything and keeps quiet for months. Until one day the agents came to the station. They always had a bird in a cage there. The bird was gone, and they found feathers in Long's cell. They searched his cell and found the headless bird in the kettle. Long was interrogated again, and he finally started talking. He claimed that 4 days before the murder, he got voices in his head to kill Joost. He called it ghosts and gods that persuaded him. The voices claimed that his ghost had been arguing with Joost's ghost for 500 years, and that he had to make things right. He doubted for 4 days whether he had understood, but they kept insisting that Joost had to die. He also indicated that he had no problem at all with Joost. He only received an assignment that he carried out. Long was further investigated and described as unscrupulous, chronically paranoid, and psychotic. Long has been sentenced to TBS, which is not a punishment in the Netherlands. He is not described as a criminal offender because he has a mental illness. TBS is a measure and not a punishment. You are under treatment with TBS forever. The treatment does not appear to help Long. It is decided that it is better if he is sent back to China. Jan, the father, who is not angry but disappointed, stands up for this in 2015 and does not agree. He says if Long is sent back and killed, it is the fault of the Netherlands. This was the story of Joost Vastenhouw. Leave a comment about the next thing I can investigate. Make sure you subscribe for more stories.